You're going to impact so many different people's lives, and I really don't take it lightly that bringing more young adults and older kids, not that it's only for them, but into the park, into the space is just, we've isolated folks.
I think what's going to be
spaces,
right? The first time I stepped foot out here, I was so excited because I was standing over there.
Yeah.
And I just thought about all the kids that are going to be playing right here, and they're going to see all these kids doing good stuff over here.
Right.
And I can't wait to see how many times I get to watch a kid like go from the jungle gym.
Yeah, they're like, I'm gonna
sneak over. I can't wait.
We're in Cordata Community Park in Bellingham, Washington, and within Cordata we are in the Parkour Park section, which is one little piece, but it's the piece that I worked on. Happy with it.
How you feeling?
I'm pretty happy with it. It's been a few years coming. We started working on this 2016. I feel like I first got in touch with people from the city about doing a parkour park, and gradually that project turned into this.
It's the minimal things, I think, that allow for imagination. A lot of these things, I think we're thinking that it broadens imagination because it looks like a pirate ship, or it looks like a.
Right.
But this is where the kids and people can really imagine their own thing.
Like I said, in middle school, I got suspended for jumping over the rails in lunchtime. And so, I remember walking through Fairhaven and downtown to find spots. People like, get out of here! So for the city to be like, come here right now.
Yeah, we want you, and we want to find a safe space for you to be able to enjoy and risk taking. Actually, we used to hate that word in education, and now we use that as something that's really important. And again, it's like so much more than just parkour.
Totally.
You should really harp on that point a little bit of these were the things that you were enjoying and wanting to exercise your imagination and your physical
That's why
ability.
I'm so excited, because I just know for so many
you would have had this?
That's what I mean. As a kid, I was hyperactive. I was able to super hyper. So it's kids that are just like me, that were just like me, literally from the same school, can now hop on the bus and just show up and thrash about.
It really just takes an idea and somebody stepping forward, and you put a little bit of extra energy, and I tried to introduce you to a few different people, but you did the follow through. And it's not just the idea, but it's the stepping through and then bringing more friends and saying, hey, we even know people that build it. I could help you with that. It doesn't have to be that complex. So more and more things like this can happen, and I would just request that, especially young adults, just know that we can still make spaces.
Yes.
And evolve spaces for them too.
How hard do you think it is to make smaller versions of this?
I think it's always easier to get whether it's a parkour park or a pump track, like over there, like a small kind of more niche amenity. I think that's always going to be easier to get that incorporated into an ongoing larger project. Like the fact that this is a big park and there's places that they can set aside for different kinds of active recreation. I think it can be a lot harder. There's an appeal to having small parkour spaces, parkour dots, right? To borrow skate terminology. And I really like that. I'd like to see more of it. It's just when you don't have the ability to kind of share the costs of development and construction across a larger project, it can be harder to mobilize those things. I think there's a lot of room for community groups, though, to push for that kind of stuff, and to have DIY and community-built, community-led, design-led projects in unused spaces. And I'd love to see more of that, because it doesn't have to cost much.
Right. That was my thing too. Is I remember at the very, very beginning of this, I was talking to April. We were talking about, as I just said, if there's no budget yet, because there wasn't. There's no budget, what about using, recycled materials, like logs and things, they can place in a way.
It's extremely exciting. I think if you look at it compared to the rest of the park, you can see how different it is, and that's what we were really going for.
Yeah.
It's like I was saying earlier that we come to parks and oftentimes there will be a rock and a stump, but then all the plastic equipment, and we'll see our kids always go to the rock and the stump. And I think it's just hard to believe that it's even in the park. So I think the kids are going to love it. I think we're going to see seniors that are going to really enjoy and feel challenged and want to try it. And I really like, kind of like we've been doing with the pump tracks, where you have a smaller kind of your first time, and then you have the little bit bigger that you can try some more stuff. But yet that smaller piece is still something that can be challenging. So it's really great. I appreciate all of your work.
Yeah.
I honestly, if you wouldn't have come forward and have advocated for what you want in a park, we wouldn't have something like this. And our parks need to be able to have things that all ages can participate in, but especially older kids and young adults, so that they want to come back and be part of the park too. And I think that's what you're going to see. So we're going to see a lot of really cool mixing, and that means the little kids are going to be inspired by this. That means they're going to be interacting more with young kids. That means, there's going to be the senior workout area, and they're probably going to come over and be asking some questions. So it's that part of society where we all need to be experiencing each other, and it's actually what I think brings a lot of social change. So something like this can actually impact a community far more than we realize.